Hi, if you've seen our van tour video, then you might be wondering how we've gotten on with our first week of our 9-month road trip, which we're currently spending in the Netherlands. And if you're new here, then where have you been? This is like week one of van life. It's like amazing stuff you need to watch. So we'll give you a recap of what we've been up to over this past week, and probably a summary of how much we spent over this week in the Netherlands. So we started our trip with a ferry across from Hull to Rotterdam. We obviously did get a pet-friendly cabin because we are travelling with Lucy, who is a very, very, very lovable border collie. And to be fair, the cabins on the P&O ferry that we were on are reasonably sized. There's a decent sized bathroom. No complaints, but obviously if you are in a pet cabin, then dog is restricted to either the pet cabin or I don't even want to call it a dog exercise area because, yeah, you can see in the video, I mean, it's just a patch of turf with a fake potted plant. So yeah, no, Lucy was not a fan and refused to toilet for maybe like 18 hours, which is not healthy. So we are officially in the Netherlands. Give me a whoop whoop. Whoop whoop. So we've been through border control and customs, which very friendly. Like never expect that from like customs or border control. Very weird. But yeah, first protocol is to get Lucy somewhere to toilet because she refused to use the exercise area on the ferry, and I cannot say I blame her. So anyway, so she needs to find somewhere to toilet, and then we're going to go shopping, stock up, and then we're going to go to Delft for the campsite. So we're all checked in at our Delft campsite for the next week. Just taking the opportunity to have a bit of a chill time. Lucy's busy exploring a pitch. Hayden's chilling. Got me shorts on because it is absolutely scorching. So one thing we weren't aware of before getting the ferry was that the gas had to be disconnected. So Hayden had to crawl under the van and we had to burn up like the gas out of the line. And now it's back underneath. Turning the gas back on for lunch. So cooking the first meal of the holiday, and it has to be a classic cheese toasties. And we're going to be washing that down with a strawberry peach cocktail that we just picked up from the Aldi. I mean, the big question is, why is drink so cheap over in Europe? There's like literally bottles of wine for like €2. It's mental. Don't understand how everyone's not an alcoholic when it's cheaper to drink that than it is water. I'm so tired. So today we went to Rotterdam and we got kind of a late start for the day because we needed to have some sleep and stuff. Where's that water gone? Where's the water? We need to have a bit of sleep. And I messed up with the train stuff because I didn't realise that when it says Snellbus IPV train, it means it's an express bus instead of a train. And so we're there on a platform trying to find train, and then a very nice member of staff came along and said, "Oh no," he was like, "if you want Rotterdam," he was like, "you need to go up and out and get the bus." So then we ended up sat at the normal bus stop, which it obviously wasn't. It's missed the signs for the. Well, I think we saw the signs, but I was just stubborn. I was like, "No, no, this says Rotterdam Central." Wasted fucking loads of time there to then be told, you can't go on because you need, this is a train ticket, not a bus ticket. So anyways, then he went to the information point in the station, and long story short, we eventually got on the express bus, got into Rotterdam. It was actually quite nice. Went to the food market, which was really nice. Enjoyed that. So overwhelming with choice though, so we did go for the the safe option, I'll say. I go to, which always seems to be like Indian food. Got chicken tikka masala. And it was really, really nice. Very nice lunch. We went to the cube houses, which are just a bit wacky, but I don't know if I'd actually go out my way to go see them. Like, if you're in the area, then yeah, but yeah, it's just one of those things you're like, wow. So I'm just testing this food because I mean, I'm reheating leftovers from last night. It was a bit bland last night, so I'm just chucking in. No, look at me. Chucking in anything going. Oh, I'm so tired, I'm so hungry. My pee is like iron brew. It is not healthy. Complete overshare, but yeah, such is on life. Chili powder, more chili powder. Can never go wrong with chili powder. What else? Oh, and then we were going to go to the I keep calling Kinderdijk because I don't know how to say it. I'm pretty sure it's Kinderdijk. The windmills, the UNESCO World Heritage Site, which has a load of windmills. And there's a faff with the water bus as well because silly old me, when I've been planning this trip, I'd looked at the summer timetable for the water buses, but they're still on the winter timetable until the end of March. So there's fewer buses, and we had to wait for our water bus for friggin' ages. But anyways, we did have a nice walk at Kinderdijk, and then we had to get the last water bus back, which was 5:30, going to Rotterdam 6:10. Had to walk to a shop to get Lucy more water. Give her a load more water. Walked to Rotterdam Central, got on the bus service again, like the replacement bus service, which dogs aren't even meant to be allowed on. But I was like, if anyone wants to bite me on this, you can. But no issues. Go back yourself. Absolutely, just power walked back to the campsite, and I don't know how to show you. Excuse me, because I'm terrible with this camera. Poopy poopy. She's had such a long, hard day of it. As you can see, I've had a long, hard day of it as well. Hayden's had a long, hard day of it as well, carrying his camera bag because that weighs a ton. But yeah, here's to day 2 out of 277. For our third day, we just walked into Delft to have a bit of a nosy around. It's really pretty, lots of pottery shops and cute little streets. I was definitely most excited about the cheese shop though. We saw the Oostpoort, which is this nice old gate with towers, it's a bridge and everything. But, I mean, honestly, we didn't find that there was a lot to do. Most of the historic stuff isn't dog friendly, so we ended up back at the van pretty early. So this is what happens when Hayden spills drink on the bed. So the mattress was soaked. We've been hairdryer in it, and it seems to be dry now. And then we decided to do a load of washing as well because we had to wash the bed sheets. And this is stuff that couldn't be tumble dried. So as you can see, we have created the Hanging Gardens of Babylon with some bungee cords. And that is another day in van life. So, Hanging Gardens of Babylon update. The rest of the washing went in for 2 full drying cycles at 40 minutes each, because that's as long as we could set it for. And that cost us, €4 per drying cycle, and still not dry. So, this is a development now with a very happy Hayden sat in front of t-shirts and our bed sheet, which has a further 2 lines of washing drying behind it. We've got the night heater on, trying to dry everything off. We started off at 16 degrees in the van. What temperature are we on now? 21 degrees. Oh god, 22. So we've had like 6 degrees increase already. So yeah, it's gonna get warm in here. Really warm. So we're on day 4 in the Netherlands. First protocol was the sex museum, where we got to traumatise Lucy. It was just an overall hilarious experience. Some of the dodgy stuff on display. Yeah, there's not really much I can share on here because it is basically pornography. And then we've stopped by a coffee shop and picked up some brownies, vegan, you know, egg free and all that. And now we're on our way to the Single Flower Market, which is like this floating flower market on a canal, so it should be quite good. So I was a little bit disappointed by the Single Flower Market, as there weren't as many like fresh flowers as I'd have expected there to be. But it was still good, and then we took Lucy for her first Mackies because we were feeling peckish. And then we did wander down the, and I'll apologise now because I will say it wrong, the Albert Cube Market, which is one of the biggest markets in Amsterdam. And it was, you know, really interesting just to walk down that. But then after that, we did make our way to the red light district. Obviously, no footage from that. I will say, you just feel really awkward. It's just women in windows, and you're like, I don't want to look at you. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, after that, we did just head back on the train. But yeah, I mean, Amsterdam's definitely an experience. It's a very, very pretty city. There's rancid. Who eats these for fun? So one might say that day 5 was an interesting experience. While we waited for that to kick in, we did take Lucy for a little walk and the swim, which, as you can tell, she absolutely loved. Side effects may include uncontrollable giggling. And that pretty much sums up day 5. So for day 6, we did have a really chill day. I didn't get any footage of it because it was just chill day. We walked back into Delft, and I bought like a load of cheese. I was in the cheese shop for absolute ages, and dogs aren't allowed in, so Hayden and Lucy were stood outside. And I was there at all the little sample tables, like, oh yes, I'll have a bit of that, and I'll have a bit of that. So yeah, I bought some cheese, but just some mild, was it a young Gouda? I think I bought a young Gouda, and I bought a smoked cheese. And then we walked back to the campsite. Afterwards, I was like, you know what, I actually want to walk into some of the pottery shops because we'd only ever looked at them from the outside. So we walked back into Delft. I walked into pottery shops and again didn't take Lucy in because she'd be like a bull in a china shop. It would be a dog in a pottery shop, and I was not going to pay the bill for that. And once again, didn't get any footage of that, and it was just me going, oh my god, it's so expensive. Like, I think the cheapest item I found in one of them was a pencil, which was still like €2. €2 for a pencil with a bit of a pattern on. Mental. Well, yeah, I mean, it is beautiful stuff, and I do wish I could afford it, but here we are. And also try and drive around with some beautiful pottery in a van for 9 months. Not really going to work out, is it? To round off the week, I'll go through the all-important figures of how much everything cost us. So I'm not including the ferry price. I'm not including the fuel we got in England before we went. I'm just including basically everything we paid for as soon as we got off the ferry into Rotterdam. So for food shopping, we spent €143.03. Public transport was €150.31. The campsite for the week cost us €252. Food out and about, €41.47. Laundry, you've already heard about that debacle. That was €16.50. Didn't buy any fuel, no souvenirs, and then we spent €40 on things to do, which was the Sex Museum in Amsterdam and the brownies. So that brings us to the grand total of €643.31 for week 1 in the Netherlands. So I hope you enjoyed week 1's vlog. I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to get worse at it because I keep forgetting to record. But yeah, I hope you follow along and join us on our journey. If you do have any questions, anything to do with the van or our plans, what we're doing, where we're going, drop us a comment down below, or you can drop us a message on the website and we'll get back to you.